Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are diving headfirst into one of the oldest debates there is, science versus religion. But what if it's not a fight? We're going to explore a really fascinating framework called evolution by emergence. The big idea here is that these two worldviews aren't actually in opposition. Instead, they might just be two different languages trying to describe the very same deep reality.
And this quote right here, it just perfectly captures the spirit of this whole journey. It suggests that if you follow the cold, hard logic of physics and math all the way to its conclusion, you don't end up in some cold, meaningless void. You end up somewhere else, somewhere that sounds, well, kind of profound.
So this is the core question we're going to keep coming back to. I mean, what if the things ancient traditions called God, or the Tao, or divine will, are the exact same forces that modern physics describes with equations about thermodynamics and order? Let's dig in and see. Okay, so where do we even begin with an idea this big? Well, the entire framework of what folks call EBE, or evolution by emergence, is built on one single, incredibly simple principle. It's this fundamental drive that you can see at work in literally everything, from a single atom to a whole galaxy. And here it is, the engine of everything, differential persistence. Now, this isn't some kind of mystical woo-woo. It's just a basic rule of existence. Think of the universe as having this constant filter. Any pattern of energy or matter that is good at keeping itself going, that is, maintaining the stuff it's made of, it just sticks around. And any pattern that's not good at that, well, it falls apart. It stops. That's it. This simple process, repeated over billions of years, is what creates all the complexity and apparent purpose we see around us. Let's start small, at the physical level. You see this all the time. A whirlpool in a stream, right? That vortex is a stable pattern that maintains itself for a while, way more stable than just random splashing. Same with a crystal. Its atoms are arranged in a pattern that is strong and endures. In the language of Ekbe, these are simply patterns that got good at persisting. Now let's zoom out a bit to biology. I mean, what is life? Life is an insanely complex pattern that has become an absolute grandmaster at this game of persistence. Your metabolism? That's just a nonstop chemical process of you maintaining your own physical structure. And evolution? That's just the same principle, playing out over millions of years, testing countless biological patterns and keeping the ones that are best at sticking around. And it doesn't stop there. The very same rule is at work right now, inside your own mind. Why do you remember that fire is hot? Because that memory, that pattern of neurons, is really, really good at helping you maintain your physical body, right? Good ideas, useful facts, accurate maps of the world, they persist in your brain's network because they help the whole system, you, survive and thrive. So here's where it gets really personal. That feeling you have right now, that deep internal drive to keep going, your ambition, your motivation, your will to live, that's not just your feeling. According to this framework, that feeling is the universe's fundamental tendency to persist. Only now it's happening through a pattern complex enough to be self-aware. You are what this cosmic drive feels like from the inside. Okay, so if everything from a crystal to our own consciousness is all about maintaining its foundation, its substrate, that leads to a really, really big question. Let's zoom all the way out to the cosmic scale and see where this logic takes us. Right, what's the final domino? If our cells depend on molecules, and molecules depend on atoms, and atoms depend on the laws of physics, what do the laws of physics themselves depend on? What's the ultimate foundation holding everything up? Now, the answer proposed here is a bit of a mind bender, but it's beautiful. It's a cosmic loop. So let's just walk through it. Step 1. The basic laws of the universe allow simple patterns to form. Step 2. Over billions of years, these patterns combine and get more complex, eventually leading to intelligence. Step 3. At some point, that intelligence becomes smart enough to realize, hey, my very existence depends on these specific physical laws. So what's the final logical step? Step 4. That intelligence then acts to ensure that the very laws that created it continue to exist. The universe's output literally becomes its own input. The snake eats its own tail, creating a self-sustaining cosmos that doesn't need a first cause to get it all started. Okay, and this is where it all starts to click together in this powerful new way. The EB framework suggests that maybe all those ancient religious concepts weren't just made-up stories. Maybe they were powerful intuitions about this deep, cosmic reality just described in the language of poetry and metaphor. And now,
we can start to translate them. And just look at this translation table. It's wild. Divine will isn't some spooky external force. It's the fundamental thermodynamic drive for patterns to exist and persist. And sin, it's not about being bad. It's redefined as any action that physically degrades or destroys the foundations, the substrates, that other patterns rely on to exist. Grace becomes the simple, astounding fact that we exist in a universe with conditions that allow for life in the first place. And eternal life? Well, that's the ripple effect of your actions. It's the way you change the structure of the whole network, forever. We can even reframe core ethical rules this way. Thou shalt not kill stops being just an arbitrary command from on high. It becomes a deeply practical, physical principle. Killing another human being literally damages and degrades the capacity of the entire human network. And love thy neighbor? Well, that's just the most game-theoretically sound strategy for survival. When we support each other's foundations, we create a more stable, resilient system for absolutely everyone. It's not just nice, it's just smart physics. Now, I know this all sounds very cosmic, very abstract, but the really cool part is how this whole framework brings it all right back down to earth, to you, to what this all means for how you can live your life, right here, right now. So what does this look like day to day? Well, it suggests a whole new kind of ethics. It's not about following rules because you're told to. It's about a kind of enlightened self-interest. Once you realize yourself is much bigger than you thought. It's about simple things. Maintain the systems that maintain you. Think long-term, because you're just one part of a pattern that spans generations. See other people not as things to be used, but as fellow patterns trying to persist, just like you. And check this out. Even resting becomes a moral imperative. It's a thermodynamic necessity for your pattern to endure. And this really is the ultimate shift in perspective. You are not a static object. You're not a noun. You're a verb. You are the universe in the active process of maintaining itself, right here. Your curiosity, that's the universe exploring itself. Your creativity, that's the universe figuring out new ways to persist. Your ability to love, that's the universe recognizing the power of interdependent patterns. And that brings us to this final, pretty mind-blowing thought. If this framework holds any water, it means the most mundane, ordinary parts of your life are actually sacred. When you eat a meal, you are literally performing cosmic self-maintenance. When you have a real conversation, you are patterns reinforcing other patterns. And when you show kindness, you are strengthening the very fabric that allows all of us to thrive. So every moment, every little action is a choice to participate in this incredible ongoing process.